The hope is that it doesn't detract from the opportunity that I just talked about. I mean, the hope is that it doesn't create negative headlines or take some of the wind out of the sails.
Justin Marks has drawn the battle lines. Trackhouse Racing is no longer the flashy newcomer, it's the team preparing to take down NASCAR's biggest dynasties. The 2026 season isn't just another chapter, it's the start of a war with Hendrick and Gibbs. If you're enjoying this breakdown, smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss the latest NASCAR news. When Trackhouse Racing rolled into the scene back in 2021, it had all the flash you'd expect from a team with a Grammy-winning superstar as co-owner. Pitbull's sunglasses were almost as reflective as the paint schemes on the cars. And honestly, that's what people talked about. It was the NASCAR version of a Silicon Valley startup, full of swagger, sound bites, and style. The team was fast, sure, but it felt more like a musical side project than a serious racing operation. But something fundamental shifted over the past year. The celebrity sheen started to dim, and what emerged from underneath looks less like a flashy startup and more like a long-term operation built to dominate for decades. February of this year brought news that could have derailed everything. Pitbull ended his partnership with Trackhouse, closing the chapter that put the team on the cultural map worldwide. For most teams, losing a celebrity co-owner would trigger panic mode, a scramble to find another famous face to keep the brand relevant. But Justin Marks didn't flinch. He didn't desperately search for another celebrity. Instead, he did something far more strategic. He started building for the future, treating this as an opportunity rather than a crisis.
With all that's going on right now in the courtroom, Justin, I think we all hope it ends in a positive way with the 2311 front row lawsuit. But I would imagine as an owner that you're keeping a pretty close eye on that.
Then came the departure of Daniel Suarez, the team's first ever driver. Suarez had his worst career season in 2025, ending the year winless with the number 99 team before leaving to join Spire Motorsports. Looking back now, this feels like the exact moment Trackhouse stopped experimenting and started engineering their dynasty. Let's talk about the foundation Marks is building on. Ross Chastain remains the anchor, the one constant through all these changes. The Florida watermelon farmer turned Cup Series winner has been with Trackhouse since 2021, when he was named the second full-time driver. He's seen this team evolve from disruptor to playoff regular, and he'll continue wheeling the number, one Chevy in 2026. But here's where it gets interesting. Trackhouse just made a massive power move by bringing in Brandon McSwain from Hendrick Motorsports to be Chastain's crew chief. Think about that for a second. McSwain, a fellow Florida native with a mechanical engineering degree from UNC Charlotte, helped lead William Byron's number. 24 team to multiple wins over the past few seasons. This isn't just a hire. This is Mark sending a message to the entire garage. We're not chasing short-term momentum anymore. We're building engineering depth that can compete with anyone. Chastain himself recognized the significance, saying, "I worked with Brandon very early in my career. He's someone I've kept my eye on for a while in case the chance to work together ever came to fruition. I'm looking forward to getting started." Meanwhile, Chastain's former crew chief, Phil Surgeon, isn't being pushed out. After 5 years atop a pit box, he's being moved to another role within the organization, one that'll keep him home most weekends. These aren't musical chairs. This is corporate restructuring done right, repositioning people to maximize efficiency across the entire operation. Now let's talk about Shane Van Gisbergen, because this is where the international angle gets really compelling. SVG will carry the number 97 on his Chevy next season, and this number means everything to him. It was his father's number racing in New Zealand, and it's the same number Shane used during his absolutely dominant supercars run that netted him 3 championships and 80 wins. He put it perfectly. It's awesome to carry a car number that is so special to me. My dad used it in his racing career, and I've used it in pretty much everything since. It's cool to get the opportunity to create even more moments with it in the Cup Series.
You know, I will say this. I think that there certainly needs to be more collaboration and a better relationship between the teams and the sport.
His first full NASCAR season was ridiculous. 5 wins, including the Chicago Street Race and Sonoma, making him one of the most successful rookies the sport has ever witnessed. And here's the continuity play. Stephen Doran, who guided him through that breakout campaign, stays on as crew chief. Trackhouse isn't just finding talent anymore, they're keeping it and building around it. Then there's Connor Zilisch, the 19-year-old phenom who looks destined for superstardom. Zilisch took over the number, 88 in 2026, after an absolutely dominant Xfinity Series season that saw him rack up 10 wins, finish second in the championship, and claim Rookie of the Year honors with JR Motorsports. He'll be paired with veteran crew chief Randall Burnett, who brings Cup Series experience and a 2019 Xfinity Championship with Tyler Reddick. Youth plus experience. It's becoming Trackhouse's signature formula. Zilisch understands the weight of the number he's inheriting. It's cool for me to carry on the legacy of the 88 number. That number has quickly become important to me and the history of that number in the sport with Shane, Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett, and everyone who has run the 88th. I certainly have big shoes to fill. Here's what makes Marks' strategy so dangerous to the established teams. While other organizations shuffle drivers like cards in a casino, he's built a core trio that could conceivably grow old together. Chastain is the battle-hardened veteran. Van Gisbergen is the global star bringing international credibility. Zilisch is the heir apparent, the future. Each one represents a different chapter in a story that's only just beginning. The numbers back up the vision. In just 5 years, Trackhouse has compiled 14 wins, 57 top 5s, 113 top 10s, and 4 consecutive playoff appearances. But it's not the stats that tell the real story. It's the pace of evolution, the speed at which this team has transformed from celebrity side project to legitimate championship contender. Marks sees 2026 as the reset point. There was an opportunity for the 2026 season to kind of reset everything. We looked at the organization as a whole and see the 2026 season as the next iteration of Trackhouse. Ross, Shane, and Connor are all excited about who they're working with next year. This is another big step in creating the Trackhouse legacy. That word, legacy, is everything. Hendrick Motorsports is the corporate powerhouse. Gibbs Racing is the traditional juggernaut. But Trackhouse has figured out how to blend youthful energy with solid infrastructure. The engineering pipeline from UNC Charlotte, the driver development ladder, the international reach through Van Gisbergen, it all points to a plan that extends far beyond next season's point standings. Modern NASCAR isn't just about who wins on Sunday. It's about who's still winning 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Trackhouse might not be the loudest team in the garage anymore, but that's exactly the point. The Pitbull era proved they could make noise. This new chapter is about building something that lasts, something that can genuinely challenge Penske and Hendrick for decades to come. Because in NASCAR, noise fades fast, legacy lasts a whole lot longer, and Justin Marks is building a legacy that the big teams better start taking seriously.